time to talk about D'Anne. And Lucy, you copied me there wearing your hat, but one of D'Anne's you're going to need to help me out on that one. One of her signatures was a hat, whether it was this hat, a purple hat, whatever, but when she walked into the room, she just lit it up, and it wasn't because she wanted to be noticed as much as it was just her nature. She was just an elegant, wonderful, darling gal. But I'll tell you, I'm not, so I'll take this off.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, you are.
So I've got some notes here that, and I wanted to be prepared because it would be important to D'Anne to be prepared, but it would be important to my brother Gary that I memorize all the lines and not refer to notes. But it goes to show that D'Anne's more important to me than my brother Gary. So I wanted to make sure that I not leave anything about her out. So she was born in 1949 and she died in 2008. But we all know that it's not the years, rather it's the dash between the years that's important. And how does someone describe the dash that was D'Anne? For 34 of her roughly 40 adult years, I stood alongside that dash, and I marveled at what a magnetic personality she had. I wrote a song, the only song I've ever written the words and the melody for, and it starts out, D'Anne, what made you so wise? What was that magnet of your essence that made us yearn your presence? And that's what people she had. She just had that magnet. And Marty, I know you saw it. Rhonda, you saw it in her. She lived in the moment. She preferred one-on-one to a crowd. She'd love the crowd, but she'd be picking out individuals one-on-one, and she'd be focused 100% on them. And as somebody once said, she was both interesting and interested. So last evening, I received an email from a friend. Several of you know, I won't mention her name, but she was a bit younger than D'Anne. And she had been conflicted about how to move forward after she found herself a single mom with 2 children. She wrote, D'Anne inspired me, a word we're going to hear all night, inspired, inspiration, to be courageous and to step out of my comfort zone. And I don't know how many of you had that same impact with her, but many. This morning, in anticipation of this evening's comments, I try to think, how do I capture this dash? And so I reread a handful of the sympathy cards that I received, more than 1,000 when she died in January of 2008, and they've been sitting in 2 boxes, and I haven't opened them since I received them, looked at them quickly, and then put them in this box. Now, I only had time to read about 20 of them because none of them were just a simple card that said, you know, with sympathy, good luck to you. Each one of them had a story with it, and probably everybody in this room who knew D'Anne wrote one of those sympathy cards. And that's when I realized that D'Anne was living 2 lives. The one that I knew was cherish this most beautiful, loving, feminine, interesting wife that a man could ever ask for. And then there was the other one, whom I discovered from these many cards, of this ardent feminist, counselor, advisor, embodiment of the term sisterhood. Indulge me to read from one of them. Dearest Jerry, where does one even begin? 4 years ago, when my life lay in painful shards at my feet, D'Anne gently yet firmly took me in hand, persistently encouraged me, quietly challenged me to stand tall and live through my pain. She told me to experience each moment of it. Though we'd been casual friends for years, it was then that our friendship truly began. With her subtle guidance and generosity of spirit, she taught by example, and I was whole again. Her zest for living was so contagious, it was exhilarating. Her unbridled enthusiasm to experience everything life had to offer, intoxicating. Her joie de vivre was so compelling that she truly lit up her surroundings with her love and joy, and it was never an option to not participate in her adventure of the moment. You could not say no to this woman. And actually, if you look at your glasses that you're drinking from, which we hope you'll take home, there's an expression, I don't think she coined it, but she certainly lived by it. So I'll skip some of this, which is just as meaningful, but I don't want to keep you here all night. And it said, I'll see her in the morning mist, rollerblading along a Monterey walkway, or riding her horse at a gallop in the open hills. I know she would ask me to be happy, to continue to rebuild my world, my life, and to embrace both. Her presence in my life has been such a gift. Thank you for sharing her with me. Love. And this is one, but numerous letters that I received like that. So card after card informed me of the impacts that D'Anne had had upon her sisters, virtually none of which I was aware, including the woman who wrote, D'Anne gave me the best advice of my life, to leave my husband. True. And I couldn't be happier for getting the push I needed to get out of a horrible, dysfunctional relationship.
I'm not laughing at you.
D'Anne embraced life and all it offered and had no fear of death. She made many poignant observations after having been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at the age of 56. I'll never forget crying when the doctor came to us and said, treatable but not curable. D'Anne's response, well, look at it this way. At least I get to skip old age. On more than one occasion when we would try to make sense of what was happening to us, she would predict, this is going to be a lot harder on you than it is on me. The sympathy cards kept repeating 3 words. Authentic, as in no pretensions, the real deal. Inspirational, as in push your limits, as there are none. Generous with her time and with her resources. One more quote. Quoting from Maya Angelou, somebody wrote this to me. Maya Angelou also said, as part of a card that was sent to me, a great soul serves everyone all the time. A great soul never dies. It brings us together again and again. And then the person wrote, and so with D'Anne, a great soul will bring those who knew and loved her together again and again. Thanks to how each of you were touched by D'Anne's soul. Here we are together as D'Anne's memories grace this reception room of the Women's Community Clinic. D'Anne has now moved on to that spiritual plane where she gallops her Andalusian horse through the heavens while inspiring us from memories which she indelibly engraved upon each of us. Life is a mystery, but we must marvel in the future and not wallow in the past. The Women's Community Clinic's future is for the women who come through that door every day. Hopefully, D'Anne's legacy will mean a better quality of health care and reproductive guidance and care for the underserved women in our community. And once in a while, just once in a while, one of those clients of the Women's Community Clinic will read D'Anne's bio and look at her picture and get inspired to be all that she can be and do all that she can do for the next person who walks off that elevator. That would make D'Anne's smile broad. that loving smile which conveyed so much with having to say so little. For 34 years, I was known as, "Hi Jerry, where's D'Anne?" Today, I'm known as, "Hi Jerry, where's Laurel?" And that will make D'Anne a very, very happy girl.
Yes.
And all of you as well, I know. So Dr. Taylor is, of course, the moving force of the clinic, and Carlina is her first sergeant. But I must particularly thank Tara Medvey. Tara?